I've always hated banana bread, and this is why. Welcome to Breakfast for Pancakes. I'm your host, PK Sullivan. Before we get started, I just wanted to say, all this month, November 2022, I am dedicating my videos towards raising awareness about nut allergies. Nut allergies can be really serious food allergies. They can cause anaphylaxis. They can be really, really scary. This is something that affects me personally because I'm allergic to multiple of them, so I've had to cut tree nuts just completely out of my diet. Thankfully for me, my allergy is pretty mild by comparison. I just get hives. I don't have my throat close up or anything like that. It's not something I'm going to be hospitalized for, but it is annoying enough, and honestly, tree nut allergies are scary enough that I just don't want to deal with it. As you may have guessed, I love food, I love cooking, and not being able to eat nuts has forced me to adapt a number of recipes so that I can actually have something that is close to the original. That's why I'm doing No Nuts November. I'm adapting recipes that traditionally or just originally include nuts to be a nut-free version that I can eat. It's going to range from something that I make frequently because it's a recipe that my wife and I love, to something that I am actually going to work out on the air, learning out loud for you as we go along. Please take some time to learn about tree nut allergies, why they're so scary, and how they can affect the lives of people in and around your communities. Growing up, my family didn't make banana bread. We made zucchini bread. And I think that is why I don't like banana bread, because as far as I'm concerned, zucchini bread is just superior. But as my allergies changed as I got older, I had to cut out nuts and adapt the family recipe so that I can eat it. Originally, this calls for chopped walnuts. The easiest, simplest, most straightforward substitution is also the one I'm doing here. Sunflower seeds for the walnuts. Other than that, this is my family recipe and the reason why I love zucchini bread. Quick breads are comfort food. You got zucchini bread, banana bread, apple bread, pumpkin bread, all of these things. Carrot cake and muffins are also quick breads. This one uses applesauce as an ingredient. When you use applesauce in a cake or a quick bread, it really gives it a nice, tender, and moist crumb. That's what we're looking for. This recipe is dairy-free. We're using vegetable oil instead of butter. It's not quite vegan because we are using eggs. Eggs are important because they are a binder. Anytime you are making a bread and you don't give it time to develop gluten, it's going to need a binder of some sort. The eggs are what's doing that here. Anyway, let's get into it. To make nut-free zucchini bread, you'll need eggs, sugar, vegetable oil, zucchini, applesauce, vanilla extract, flour, salt, cinnamon, baking soda, baking powder, nutmeg, cloves, and sunflower seeds. Before we get into the recipe, do me a favor, hit like and subscribe down below. That way you can follow along as I offer up tips, tricks, and recipes every Tuesday. Before we get into the recipe, do me a favor, hit like and subscribe down below. That way you can follow along as I offer up tips, tricks, and recipes every Tuesday. All right, we're going to start by grating the zucchini. You don't need a ton of zucchini. We're really just going for 160 grams. Now grab yourself a nice big mixing bowl and crack your eggs. Go ahead and beat the eggs. You don't have to be too wild beating the eggs, just make sure that they're nice and mixed together. Now add the sugar, applesauce, oil, and vanilla. Whisk that all together. It's going to be pretty thick. The batters for quick breads aren't exactly thin and light. With your wet ingredients all combined, go ahead and mix your dry ingredients in a separate bowl. Start with the flour, the salt, baking soda, and baking powder, our leaveners. Then the 3 spices, the nutmeg, cinnamon, and cloves. And now Combine them. If you're doing this by hand, you'll want to whisk in by parts just to make it easier. Otherwise, things can get real sticky, real heavy, dense in a hurry. All right, time to add the zucchini and the nuts. Now spray your loaf tins and load them up. They should each be filled about 2/3 of the way full. Okay, and after you spill all over your counter, I like to load them up onto a baking sheet just for ease of transport, delivery, removal, all that sort of thing. Clean up these sides because that'll burn. Okay, these go into the oven, 325, for about an hour. Still need some time, still gooey. I'm gonna give that one another 7 or 8 minutes. All right. I find it's important to turn it out immediately because otherwise it will continue to steam in the pan. Sometimes you end up with a bit of a broken bottom. That's fine. Have to let these cool before we cut into them, otherwise they're just going to release all the steam and evaporate and become dry, crumbly messes, but I'm really looking forward to it. It's the next day, I let these cool, wrap them up in tin foil, and put them in the fridge overnight. Let's see how they taste. So the crumb is, oh, look at that. Super nice. What the seeds do is really give a textural contrast. So it's not just a soft muffin-like texture. It's got little bits in there that give it a little toothsomeness and are quite nice. They also contribute a nutty, toasty flavor, which works well with the warm fall spices, the nutmeg and the cloves that we used. This is just really good. The zucchini is pretty mild. It doesn't taste like zucchini, but the shredded zucchini helps keep everything moist. It gives the bread a nice, interesting structure. I love zucchini bread. My wife likes to spread some salted butter on her zucchini bread. Give that a shot. Me, I think it's perfect just plain. This is a great dessert, or this is part of a large breakfast as sort of the sweet complement. But it's not super sweet. It's not something like a cherry Danish that would be, just massive sugar bomb, or cinnamon rolls, things like that. It has a nice sweetness, but is balanced by the spices and honestly the zucchini and the seeds. It's got a great thin brown crust all around the edges. Perfect. I did a really good job on this, not to toot my own horn. Zucchini bread is one of my absolute favorite fall treats. Well, there we go. That's all from me. I'm PK Sullivan. This is Breakfast for Pancakes. Thanks for watching.